last session, let me put on some music. Let's do that
In comes the lounge music and Revzol. You're all looking very pretty today.
well, you are. I guess I didn't have to say it since Fish told me. Let's see. Okay, so after the last session, you had successfully mostly averted the worst case scenario for the series of natural disasters that had occurred. All, as far as you could tell, a result of the earthquake that started it, which then snowballed into a bit of a mudslide, although most of that was covered, except for the one big boulder that crashed through a good chunk of the factory, or the Valley Windworks. And it also caused that aforementioned mudslide to close off the river, which swept through town. But everyone is safe. There has been no casualties, and now they're basically just going through a cleanup process, which will probably take longer than you'll be here for, but they can do the majority, or at least a start to get things back on track as far as power is concerned in the city. Last time, Zoe had also asked you if you could, if you want to help out, if you could investigate up further into the mountain, just to see if there was anything else that seemed like it could be a danger, if there were, say, aftershocks or the like. So yeah, that's where you left off. Oh, and you kidnapped some more Pokemon.
Yeah.
As usual. Did I even give you the sheet for those?
The unknown got even weirder.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the more eyes you add, the weirder they get.
I keep adding them mechanically, but I have still on a backlog of naming my Pokemon. I would name the Shiinotic, the Comfey.
Oh, they're down there. I'll bring them over.
Okay. Chance can just be the type of person who thinks on their names for a while.
Yeah, there you go. That explains my reasoning.
I forgot for one of my campaigns. I forgot to name one of my Pokemon for like 3 sessions, and I was just like, "Fuck, I should really do this." I felt really bad because I was using it too.
Oh dear.
It was a cute little Poliwag.
Is it bad etiquette not to give your Pokemon nicknames in PTU?
Not necessarily, but people tend to do it, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't played with I've played with very few people that don't nickname their Pokemon in PTU.
Yeah.
I never nickname my Pokemons when I'm playing the actual games. Like I never even consider it. But in PTU, I'm like, I feel obligated.
I've kind of made it a habit to just like randomly name my Pokemon now, because I sometimes play Nuzlocke and I just want to get into the habit.
Yeah, I never used to name them as a kid, but I do these days. It's kind of gone the other way, I think most people do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think too hard about it. I just like give it a name that I think of at that moment. Half the time it's like a word plus Y at the end.
Like Slappers or Bernie.
Slappy, Bernie, Fluffy, Arky,
Amber.
Hey, I appreciate that naming sense, okay? I'd use it for a reason. At least Shuri is with an I.
True. And I can appreciate a good eye.
Oh yes, of course you can, Tom. Oh god. But yeah, there is actually one person in a different campaign who has not named any of their Pokemon. Meanwhile, the other player in that game is naming them like the names of demons. Super edgy.
Oh.
Beelzebub.
Like
okay, this one's an angel.
Asphodel.
There is an Asmodeus. And angels and random other like mythological things. Azazel, Fenrir.
Have they got an Apollyon?
An Apollyon? No, I don't think so.
All of its features are Owl the Edge.
Yeah, every single one.
The funny thing is, all of their Pokemon are cute. Fenrir is a Morpeko. I guess that can be kind of vicious. Azazel is a Drifloon. And Beel's
What's in more
Pikachu knockoff from Sword and Shield.
Right.
The one that switches from dark to
Yeah,
non-hungry.
yeah.
And then Beelzebub is a what's it called? Morlul.
This person definitely plays Binding of Isaac, or is a theology major, because no one knows about Azazel unless you're one of those.
I see. I've seen it around a couple times. Anyway, that was me getting derailed again. Yeah.
That's fine. I
Yeah.
have control over both Shinxes, by the way.
Oh, let me see about that. Oh, did I not move it over to you guys? And I have so many character sheets now that I don't know where I put half of them. Where is the Shinxes? Oh, one, okay. Okay, so this one should be Esme's. That I need to duplicate this. Sorry, I did this last time though. Oh well. This is...
Oh, now I have an extra Shinx character sheet.
Yeah, so this one should be yours. Oh, I gave you another one. Oopsies.
Yeah, I do have a character sheet and I've imported everything, but
Okay,
it's just
okay.
I had control of both the little
Yeah.
dorks on the
Let
map.
me fix that. I can see.
Dorks?
I already.
Rude.
This one is yours.
Ah, cool.
This one is. I think that should work. Yeah. Rename.
Perfect. There we go. For reference, it's a Luxio on the sheet, but I'm just leaving it as a Shinx.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Bit like how the Litten is actually
Toracat? Yeah.
Yeah, like the underdog stuff, I'm like ambivalent about. So like, if you want to do it this way, I'm perfectly fine with it. Like I've always felt the underdog stuff was a little bit forced in the way they implemented it.
I think it's more that people just don't like the awkward teenage phase of 3 stages.
Yeah, no, I understand. I just mean like I would like, I'm okay with just fluffing them as staying small instead of having mechanically something that makes them small. If people are like fine with that, I don't really care either way.
Yeah,
that's all.
Fair.
Okay.
Well, so we're meant to be just going up the hill at this point, right? Like.
Yes.
Do we have any
Is it-
specific destination in mind?
It's basically just doing like a scouting sweep, I think.
Gotcha.
She did mention there are a couple more turbines up there, and they don't seem like, it doesn't seem like any of them got knocked over like that, like this one did. But there might have been some less like smaller damage to it.
Does everyone else actually have a way to get up the hill?
I can levitate-ish.
You don't appreciate a good hike?
No, I'll get on Javelin, that's good, thanks. It's not, actually no, that's not fair. Like, Lucas is okay with a hike, it's just that if we're meant to be checking to see if something has gone wrong.
No, either way is fine. Anything is fine.
That is fine too.
Yes, cat is fine.
Oh, right, now I'm on top of Javelin.
Yes. Well, actually, I guess technically speaking, the way we said last time, Javelin would be on top.
It would?
If your birds are carrying people as opposed to riding on them.
I think Morgana carries people. You can actually ride Javelin.
I see. Okay, fair enough.
Javelin actually has
eggs we
mountable.
pee up the water. Or else
Yeah.
we'd be as big as fuck.
That's true. There is a river and it's going upstream, but Sweepy is a really strong swimmer. Can probably move up that river just fine. The flow has slowed down a bit um, from before.
That's actually a pretty good point. We could all get on the large mountable Pokemon.
Yes. Although
Yeah, actually,
I
that's yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt. It's like that's actually probably the best avenue for us to do the exploration because we will literally find whatever diverted the river, and that's the best, most concrete way to begin the investigation rather than just going
Oh,
blindly up the hill.
we know what diverted the river. The Machamp smashed it up. It's more we're looking to see what caused the earthquake, I think, and
Or
see if
just
there's
any
any more
Yeah,
damage.
but like find out like where the blockade came from, you know, like because it had to come from somewhere. It didn't just like magically poof into existence.
This is the Pokemon universe. It literally could have magically poofed into existence.
there is actually a Pokemon using Rock Slide to sabotaging the town.
Yeah.
It really dislikes civilization.
Anyway, I am okay to like say we we ride a melodic up the river.
Sure. I will say that you probably have to take off your shoes unless you want wet shoes, but otherwise that's fine.
Okay.
Not a just a side comment.
I'm far more worried about wet socks, if I'm honest.
Sounds good. They're kind of uncomfortable.
Have you ever been in wet socks all day on a hill?
Yes. Well, not on a hill,
It
but in wet
sucks.
socks. Yeah, it sucks. It's not great. Well, I was walking through slush in the winter, so I was in freezing wet socks all day.
That sounds crap.
That does sound
That was
crap.
crap. That was crap. I couldn't even take off my socks because my shoes were also wet.
Well, you could.
I could.
Time to go barefoot.
In the freezing slush.
That
Yes,
way you
that-
have neither cold wet socks nor cold wet shoes.
That's true.
Just numb feet.
Oh god. Alright, so yeah, you can make your way up the river without a problem. While you're going up there, make me a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a button for that now.
Miles with the
What?
27.
Yep.
Plus 4?
Yes.
Give me plus 4.
I have the skill edge that lets you get +2 in 2 things, and I have Hawkeye. Skill enhancement, that's it.
Sure.
And Hawkeye is an editation thing that does +2, and you can't get blinded or something.
Sure.
I wanted more +2s, so I took it.
So while you're heading up the river, you see a glint to the right, out of the corner of your eye, both fish and lupus.
A glint to the right.
Yes, of the river.
So, are we up here somewhere?
You're, here.
I always appreciate like the unending optimism of Chance and Esme making perception checks in a group where we have Lucas and Fish.
Well,
Where
it
we
was
have,
like me in the last
tricks
campaign,
and
right?
We just roll out of formality.
One of these days I'll make it so that everyone's perception matters. One of these days.
It
Jeez.
it is possible for Esme to beat Miles in a perception check.
Technically possible, yes.
It's not gonna happen, dude. You know my rolls are legendary.
Okay. Can we like? How do we get? So is it on the land then, or is it in the?
Yes, it is on the land.
Wait, shouldn't Chance be with us on the Milotic, or has he decided? Fuck
I think
that?
everyone's on the Milotic.
Yeah,
I think
we
everyone's
haven't
moved
bothered.
there.
Yeah, we just haven't bothered actually moving things around.
I guess I'll get on Javelin, like fly over and see what it is.
Okay. So there is an item here. It seems like.
Okey-dokey.
It doesn't seem like it's. It seems like it's been placed here on purpose. For possibly for people who explore a little bit. But it looks like a CD.
Oh, is that what TMs look like in this?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pick it up and see if my dex can identify it or something.
Sure. So it seems like it's a Thunderbolt TM.
Oh wow,
Shit.
that's pretty good. I guess I'll pick it up and sort of get back on Javelin and fly back over to Everon and see. Well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, as an attack stat ace, I'm not super bothered. But is anyone else interested in this? And he'll just sort of offer it out.
No.
Potentially.
Yeah, I might get some use out of it.
Okay, so you pocket it for now, and we'll distribute it later. But making an intuition check, Lucas.
Oh god. Intuition, I think, is pretty meh. It is. Whoops. No.
All right, well, you have no idea who might have put this here. It seems like a really weird place to put a ATM, but hopefully you're not stealing.
I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere almost.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a really weird place, so you feel like relatively safe, but you're not sure who would put it there.
okay.
This is the town hermit staff.
Yeah, if you dig a little deeper, you might find some more. But yeah, you head up the river. So out of character, this part I have not made a map for, not because I didn't have a chance. I actually have maps for this, but I think it'll be more interesting if, for this part to be theater of the mind a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. So you make your way up. The river is mostly straight from this side, where the river actually flows. And up after a certain point, you see that the grass that covered the hills in town become more rocky. There's less grass on it, more just like filed patches of grass. And then when you go up, you see it takes a few minutes, but you see where the Machamp had cleared out the rubble because part of the cliff face is missing there.
Okay.
That's on your left, and on your right, it's much less. The mountains are much more craggy. They're not as developed as in the town, where they've flattened some of it out. And you see that there are a couple of wind turbines, as Zoe mentioned. There are some rock near the far cliff wall to the right of the river. There are some fallen rocks at the foot of one of the turbines.
Are they obvious as to where they might have fallen from? Is it near enough to the cliff that it would be
It seems-
the likely source?
Yeah, it doesn't. Unlike the cliffside to the left, it didn't seem like a huge chunk of it came off, so you don't really see like a part of the cliff face missing, per se. But it is close enough to the cliff face that you suspect that's where it came from.
I mean,
I mean, if you wouldn't mind going up there to check this part of the cliff.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I guess
there's
I'll
nothing
get
up
on. I'll be the resident Flappy Boy and go and take a look, I suppose.
Sure. Make me a perception check.
Sure. Whoops. There you go.
Okay, pretty good. So you see that there aren't many rocks left over. It seems like the earthquake has dislodged most of them, in that area at least. But you do see that there's a tree that I guess the rocks that and soil it's growing on have been kind of shaken a bit loose, and it is, as you look, it's kind of tilting a little bit. And it's not just that it grew tilted, it looks like it's actually moving a little bit
Huh.
in the wind.
In the wind, you say?
Yeah.
Like, it grew in near the cliff face, and because of all of the commotion and everything like that, enough of its soil underneath it wore off to the point where it's, like, unstable.
That seems like a reasonable explanation for things, yes.
Okay. it's not what caused like the earthquake. Obviously, it's just there and has been dislodged.
It would be a very powerful tree if it did.
Hey,
Or
it could be a massive pseudo.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Gigantamax Sudowoodo. I see.
Yeah.
I'll add that to the list.
Oh, good.
It's like
Well,
that
it's stuff.
freaking viral image of the freaking mountain that people are calling a giant tree, like a giant petrified tree. Have you seen that meme?
I don't think so, actually.
I mean-
There's some meme going around of like this mountain that's like people are calling a giant petrified tree, and it's just so absurd because the mountain is fucking huge.
Oh, that one. Devil's Stump. Devil's
Oh, that-
something.
Oh, that one. I
So do
saw it.
we?
Devil's Tower.
Sorry. So it basically is the blockage that the Machamp cleared out. Has that come from like under the tree, as it were, and that's why
No,
the
so-
tree is now?
No, so that's from the left side of the river, and that's already, most of it's already fallen there. This tree is on the far right, so past the river, there's like a stretch of ground, and then there's another cliff side. One of the wind turbines is somewhat close to that, and then on that other cliff side, there's that tree.
Right. So this is something that could cause a problem later.
Possibly.
Fall over. I mean, I guess I'll fly back to everyone and sort of let them know and just go. I mean, it could fall out. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure exactly what it will do. If it does, it might knock over a turbine. I'm not sure what we can do about a tree though. Anyone got anything? I mean, maybe he points at the melodic sweet pea could do something about it, but I ain't got anything big enough to move a tree about.
Can't really relocate it, and we don't have the capacity to move soil so that it has a firm foundation. So I think we should probably just note it and like report it to Zoe as a potential problem that they need to deal with.
That.
Makes
Okay.
sense to me, so we could try, but
Okay.
I mean, the alternative would be to like deliberately break it down so it can't be a problem anymore, but that seems like a lot of work, and yeah.
A lot of work. All right, got it. All right, so you note it down that there is an unstable tree there.
I mean, like, what the alternative would be like what, to knock it into the river and then like get rid of it so it's not blocking the river.
I
That is a
don't know.
possibility.
Like, can a melodic drag a tree?
I think
Possibly.
if it was just the tree itself, but like all the roots that are holding it in place, even an unstable system, like that seems like well beyond a Pokemon's capability.
Well, I would
I mean,
say it's possible. It's not like a huge old growth tree. It does have like a. Let me see if I can get like comparison. Its trunk is maybe like a foot across.
Oh, that's
Not, yeah. It's not a huge tree. It just like it has a maybe a foot and a half, but like it's not a huge tree.
I was picturing like 5 feet across. Like,
Yeah, not that big. I don't think this cliff face is strong enough to support something like that.
I mean, maybe we could smash it down then, but I don't know if that's what.
Well, if we can make sure it goes into the river.
doesn't one of our Pokemon know Dig?
A lot of your Pokemon know dig actually.
We had an entire thing based around it.
I can't
It was-
remember
it
if
was
any of
a
mine do. I don't think they do, but
I
I'm
didn't
just
teach
trying to
anyone
picture, like,
dig.
you can't like gorilla glue soil back into place on a cliffside so that you can support a tree, and you can't like a short of killing the tree and moving like knocking it over. I don't think that there's a way that we can deal with this, is there?
Probably not.
Yeah, so then we have to just like straight up destroy the tree. Whereas like if we told the town, they might be able to get like a construction crew to put the. I'm trying to like.
They would
Okay,
absolutely just destroy the tree.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, in a standard world, like, there's no reason to keep this tree here. It's like purely, bad news bears. But like in Pokemon world, like you're supposed to try to like respect nature and bullshit like that. Like
I mean,
there could be a Pokemon nest in the tree. You don't want to destroy the tree.
That's a good point. You haven't checked that yet. It might be.
I guess like I was gonna say, like if nothing else, I'll fly back over and take a closer look. Like I'll fly up to the tree, see
Okay.
if there's
Sure.
anything weird going on with the tree.
Okay. I'll just use your trigger professional. The tree itself seems fairly fairly normal. Other than it grew kind of slanted because of its location and it's wobbly, but other than that, it seems like a fairly normal tree. You do see a tree hollow in the about halfway up the trunk, and on closer inspection, there's also a what looks like you know what? I would say that it doesn't look like there's anything in the branches, but if you look below the tree, it seems like there are the remains of a bird's nest there. Although its occupants are nowhere to be seen.
It looks like there's been a nest dislodged.
Yeah, you're not sure how old the nest is, but it does seem like there has been a nest dislodged.
If I like fly up close, can I see if there's anything in the hollow?
It does not seem like there is. It seems reasonable that the occupant has moved house, since the tree is no longer stable.
I mean, if I fly down like land and take a look at the nest, is there anything in it, or is it empty?
It looks empty.
Okay. I mean, I'll give the place a once over, like just wander about a bit, but if I don't find anything, then I'll go back.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything unusual about this tree.
There's nothing there. Okay. I mean, I'll fly back across and let everyone know there's nothing weird with the tree, but it looks like something did live there before. Don't know what it is. I'm not really an expert, but
Yeah, so we can either knock the tree down or we can just move on and tell them when we get back.
Does the tree look like it's going to fall over within the next day?
Maybe a survival check.
Oh god.
guess one, I'll do that. Ta-da!
Okay,
It's the same fucking roll.
it's the same roll. I would say that, it's kind of hard to predict. It does look like it's holding for the moment. It's swaying in the wind, so there is some more stress being put on it. And it feels like if there is an aftershock, it may very well just fall over. But for the immediate, I think it's about to fall over.
How about Lucas flies back and tells someone and we continue forward and Lucas catches up? Because I imagine Javelin's quicker than Sweet Pea.
Javelin is quicker than Sweet. I have like Sky 8 or something.
Yeah. And Sweet Pea's swimming against the current.
So I guess I will fly my way back over and find Zoe, and see what she wants us to do.
Can I do a Pokehead check on the nest itself just to make sure it's not something that's gonna come back and be sad?
Sure, you can do that.
Yeah, while I'm going to see Zoe,
Yeah.
I guess you get further upriver.
Yeah, she said she can have someone, she notes it. She says if you want, you can deal with it, but if you don't, if it's too difficult, she can send someone up later on to deal with it.
At which point I'll just say I think that we don't really have anything big enough to be moving trees about, so we'll leave it to you guys, and then he'll fly back away again, or just leave it to it. Meow.
She mentions the name of the guy with the Machamp, saying she'll get him to take a look later.
Sure.
Poke has a family.
Yeah. Let's see. So, you're not super familiar with this specific nest, but it does look like the materials used for it have been there for quite a while. A lot of the softer greens that are in the inside of the nest are browned and dried. So it seems like it's been a while since this has been used. It doesn't seem likely that the occupants will be coming back soon.
Okay, good. I mean,
Okay,
I
well-
kind of am in favor of us just trying to pull it out, but
Well, I mean, when Lucas gets back, he'll let you know that Zoe's going to send the guy with the Machamp up to clear it out, so we don't have to deal with it.
but he has a family. If it falls, he'll die.
I also have a family.
Yeah, I was gonna say we
Aw.
have families.
Actually, is Esme the only one without a family? Does she have a family? Where
I'm
is it?
pretty sure Esme's family probably left her in the woods as a child and said good luck.
Esme is like the aggressive character.
This explains so many things.
Like a playable character.
Yeah, Lucas
I
was
mean,
absolutely Esme's first friend.
I mean, Esme is the most expendable of the group. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'll do it. Fuck you guys. I have nothing to live for.
What about all your Pokemon? Live for your Pokemon.
You guys can adopt them. It's fine.
But they're not unknown. I can't adopt them.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Horse. Wanted to catch that.
So you just got me saying I have nothing to live for in character. Great.
Oh
Okay.
no, we're quoting that out of context.
Oh.
We're in Minecraft.
Miles is
Esme's a renegade.
Miles is 13 and Esme has nothing to live for. These are the known facts of each character.
Ah, yes. Okay, so what do? Do you want to try to deal with the tree, or do you want to move on? See if there's anything else.
I'm in favor of Sweet Pea trying to pull it up, but it sounds like I'm outvoted.
I mean, Sweet Pea can do what Sweet Pea wants.
Yeah, we can try. I just don't have anything big enough to help.
I could help with telekinesis.
I think my biggest help possible would be Swerte. And like, I have this huge dissonance between the fact that he's just like this solid wall of meat for how big he is, and the fact that his power and mechanics is 4. Like, which doesn't seem right at all. Like, I get that he's not very big, but like,
I think
Azumarill
they're all.
is a solid mall of muscle for how big it for its size.
Isn't that
Well,
the
it's
Swablu?
too-
Is he hench?
No, Swarte is the Azumarill.
Oh, okay.
The ball of gas.
To be fair, Azumarill does have. Yeah, to be fair, Azumarill does have thick fat, so there's a good chance that a lot of that is fat. But I mean,
Like, I'm just saying, it has
ability does
huge
kinda
power, and it has 29 attack at the moment. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I have actually got 2 Pokemon that realistically could help, but neither of them are with me. So
I mean, you could try to attack the tree.
yes.
It's like a fire emblem thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Hit the tree.
Are we coming up? Are we right? What conclusion time? Are we doing something about the tree?
I'm happy to do something about the tree.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Sweet Pea gnaw on it a little bit to see if. I don't know if Sweet Pea's a boy or a girl actually. I'm gonna say he because I'm used to my boys.
you just gotta lift under its tail.
No, it's a fucking huge dragon.
Also, it's a sea creature. It's almost certainly internal.
That's true.
I don't want to be eaten by my Pokemon's cloaca, so I'm just gonna assume it's a he. Yeah, I'm gonna have Sweet Pea try and pull it up.
I'm so glad we're recording.
Reptiles have cloaca.
Yes.
That's like a bird thing.
It's a reptile thing.
Well, I guess
Which
reptiles
birds are
and birds
descended
are
from.
kind of. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
So Sweet Pea, you can make a roll.
Yes, let me see. Make me an athletics check. Say.
No, Sweet Pea, why are you such a couch potato? I raised you better.
4d6 gets a 10. F.
That's pretty
I
F.
would say, yeah, I would say that the tree is, I mean, it is wobbly, and when Sweet Pea tries to, uh, uproot it, it does move, but it is still like at least half attached to the cliff face, so it's not quite giving up its grip yet. Some leaves do come out of the tree though.
Shit, you have the leaves.
Why must you hurt me, Chi?
You got the lead. We're making serious progress.
I mean, like, the chaotic renegade of Esme would probably, in character, be like, alright, let me bring Lydia out, we'll just set the fucker on fire, but... Like,
I mean, you can try.
I'm speaking from, like, more sensible Amber that's like, no, we don't need a forest fire.
Alright, if we're trying to do something, then I guess Lucas will fly up until he is actually on the ground, like behind the tree, and I'll get Cobalt to force palm it. It's probably like
Oh shit, son.
Okay.
just try and shunt it out, like push.
Wait. Just for the sake of lols, can I roll athletics to see if, like, Esme is actually somehow capable of uprooting the tree by
Okay.
herself?
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
Oh my god.
Lol.
So you're right there, but so what I'm thinking is, Sweet Pea is kind of wrapped around the tree and using his lower body to kind of push against the rock, kind of try to wiggle it out. Esme is right beside Sweet Pea, like pushing on it and maybe kicking it or something. And meanwhile, the Riolu is. I'm thinking of a scene. Basically, like I think in this case, Cobalt isn't really like punching the tree, but more like has his hands on the trunk and is kind of just like using like pulses of force to try to like push it out, or at least outwards in a direction.
It's the old 1-inch force punch.
Yeah, basically. And you hear some creaking. It doesn't go flying out of its place, but it does seem to be moving a little bit. You hear some creaking, and a little bit more concerningly, you hear some rumbling noises from below you.
The roots are gonna pull a bunch of dirt out with it, aren't they?
Yeah, so there's still some time. It doesn't look like anything is impending, but those are the sounds you hear.
Well, what I'll do is I'll hold Riolu, or Cobalt rather, while he's force palming the tree, because Riolu is tiny, and I'll be sat on Javelin, who is flying. No collapsing rubble troubles for me.
I see. If I were a more simulationist GM, I would note that most birds can't hover in place, but I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, I guess, but
Javelin's grandmother was a hummingbird.
Yes, okay, that makes perfect sense.
Is there a hummingbird Pokemon?
There is in the Sage Dex.
Yeah, I was gonna say this.
But there-
Yeah.
But there is also some breeding shenanigans going on with sizing,
Oh,
if that is
jeez.
the case.
I know I'm kind of a slut for Pokehead checks, but can I do one just to make sure there's not going to be like 1,000 angry Diglets that pop up if we move this fucker?
1,000 angry Diglets.
1,000 angry Diglets.
Rev,
Go ahead and roll.
we need 1,000 angry Diglets to be a boss fight in about a month.
Oh, jeez.
So I've actually found a. Actually, now that you mentioned this, I don't know if I should show this. It would be funny if it actually.
But you have a stat block for 1,000 angry Diglets.
Yes.
Miles, you're still not over.
I
Oh.
was planning encounters and I was looking for inspiration and I found this. It's harmless enough.
Nice.
Wow.
That's adorable.
Wow, dog chess.
Yeah, Duchess. Okay, so
Oh, okay.
um,
It's supposed to be a play on the word Duchess.
Duchess, yeah.
But I was thinking like a Diglett like family of chess set, like
yeah,
like a
the
king and a
pronunciation is a
queen
little
and
bit off. Yeah, the pronunciation is a bit off because they wanted to keep the G. Um, but yeah, I've also seen a couple other ones. And while I'm finding that, I'll say that that rolls enough to tell that if you are in fact being assaulted by an angry horde of Diglets or Dug Trio, um, the ground would be undulating much more, and you would probably hear some angry mole noises.
Angry
Also, but
moles.
I mean, like they also, I don't think they would care. You also don't think they would care if you were to uproot a random tree. They don't live this close to the surface typically anyway.
Hmm. Okay, fair enough. Well, let's keep pulling on this fucker, I guess.
Okay.
somebody left the chat.
Oh, I just realized I didn't actually loop it, so it just
That's what she said. Boom.
that was some
That was
that's some pretty good timing though.
That was literally holy music stops.
So you keep at it, and you see a large crack form in the ground, maybe about 2 meters in length, like along the top of the cliff face. It doesn't seem so. The good news is that it's not splitting in the direction of the wind turbine, which is a little ways down, and this is like going in a slightly different direction. The bad news is that is where you are currently standing, or close to it. But the tree continues to tilt more and more.
Like it.
Right.
I mean, if the tree's likely going to fall over by itself at this, or fall off by itself, I suppose at this point, then we can leave it to it.
It seems like it needs a little bit more, but what you're doing is clearly having an effect. If even if that effect is mostly to pull it up from deeper in the ground, because evidently it's actually rooted quite deep.
Can Sweet Pea try again?
Sure.
Athletics?
The only concern I have at this point is that we're riding Sweet Pea, especially you and I, and Miles.
It'll be
M-
fine.
Miles can
I
be
mean-
levitated, it's fine.
To be fair, you don't all have to be still riding Sweet Pea while he's doing this. There is land to stand on.
I'll get over and stand over by the wind turbine.
Okay, fair enough. Sweet Pea is rolling 10 today.
He has my luck, which is
But-
unfortunate.
Yeah, but it has been the tree's hold on the ground has been weakened enough that that it seems to be coming out now.
How
the
brave.
Creaking has, yeah, I know, right? The creaking has mostly stopped, but now instead of that, the tree itself is moving, and you are a few seconds away, Esme, from riding Sweet Pea and the tree down the cliff face.
That's
it's
pretty
not-
badass.
It's not that steep, but it's steep enough that you'll probably roll until you hit the river.
Alright, is there a way for Sweet Pea to position himself to kind of keep from doing that?
Well, he can unwrap himself from the tree and just try to push it the rest of the way. Because right now, like I said, I'm imagining he's like kind of wrapped around the tree.
Yeah, let's do that.
Sure. So with a last shove and help from Cobalt, who's still doing his thing to the tree,
Wob, 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 wob.
the tree rips out a chunk of the earth that it's planted in. So it's kind of like it has roots you can see, and then there's like a glob of soil on the end, or slash rock, and it seems like it has grown around a rock more or less. So it takes like a small boulder with it, but it slides down the cliff face, and it's not like heading directly for the wind turbine, but it's kind of like close.
Unknown object redirection. Power
Yes.
Go.
Boom. It needs to not explode good things.
Yep. Do focus for me.
Fuck. What was it? I think it was 4, but let me check. It was 6, because they have TK mastery. Wah!
Okay, pretty good. So yeah, this is a lot smaller than that boulder and not moving nearly as quickly because it didn't have a lot of initial momentum and it's being slowed down by the friction. So it's pretty easy to redirect the tree so that it slides to the right. The turbine's more on the left, and then after a while it hits the water with splash, and the leaf side is kind of making it so that it's stuck. But it's not blocking the flow. It's just like, for now, it's just kind of stuck in the river. The river is fairly large, so and it probably wouldn't take much to dislodge it. But right now, it's just like in place.
Can we rotate it 90 so it flows down the river?
Sure. So, yep. So that works. You make it so that it's positioned lengthwise with the river, and that's enough to have it get swept down.
Cool.
You hope somewhere that there aren't any kids playing the river. It's not likely because it's a pretty large river, but yeah, it's flowing down.
Any kid stupid enough to get brained by a slow floating log deserves it.
They just kind of had it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So let's see. You're positioned. Okay. Did Miles get closer to the like? Was he kind of like levitating and following behind the tree to do that, to redirect it with his unknown, or is he still up at the where the tree was?
Probably somewhere fairly close, but definitely somewhere very safe.
Sure, that's
Because
fine.
he's not a complete moron.
Sure, that's fine. So then in that case, let's have Lucas and Esme make me a perception check.
Oh god, why?
Because you're still up there with where the tree was. Okay.
Why am I so dumb?
So Lucas, you hear something a little bit unnerving, but also like it doesn't make a ton of sense. So you hear what sounds like, actually, let's see. The first thing you hear is the sound of some kind of crashing coming from within the crack, which is now more of like a small cave entrance. Now that you've removed the tree and the boulder that was there, you hear some crashing from inside the cave. It's kind of muffled because it seems like it's kind of distant. But then you also hear what sounds like the cry of a small child.
Nope, that's some SCP shit.
In the cave.
In the cave.
Nope.
What the hell?
I mean, Esme will totally check it out, but like logical Amber is 100% nope.
Horror fan Amber is like, that is gonna be some kind of horrible monster grudging in the corner.
I mean, if I hear like a kid in the cave, as it were, then I'll yell over to everyone, guys, I'm hearing someone in the. This sounds stupid. I'm hearing someone in the ground.
Are they dead?
No, otherwise they wouldn't be making noise. What?
It might be a zombie.
I don't know if zombies are canon in Pokemon.
Well, zombies aren't canon in real life, but we still have zombie movies.
That's true.
Either way, this knocking this tree over's giving us like a
Side
Hey.
quest.
Side quest.
We found it. Well, I think it's a cave.
So where is the cave with the cavern entrance? Is it up on the top on the cliffside and it heads down, or is it in the cliff face and heads sideways?
It's like, okay, so if you imagine that, I'm gonna do a kind of a cross-section view. Let's bring you to a white page, I guess.
Can I
So-
bring out Cheery, who is now an Espeon, to like do some psychic shit?
Sure. So let's say this is, oh, this might be wrong. Here you go. So let's say this was like the cliff face. The tree was growing out of here, kind of thing. And then down here is the river. And then there's another cliff on the left. So you've uprooted the tree there, and it kind of ripped out a chunk of the ground. So it there's kind of a crack slash hole there that heads down like a couple steps, and then it seems to continue more sideways.
Gotcha. So the
so
answer
yeah.
is both.
Yes. So you bring out Shuri. What kind of psychic stuff are you wanting Shuri to do?
I just want to see if he can kind of sense any danger up in there.
It seems like whatever it is that's making the noise, it's fairly distant. Shuri's not getting any like premonitions of danger, if that's what you mean. But it is a little bit too far to really tell what it is.
Okay, well, you heard the man, boys. Let's get in this fucking cave.
Get this fucking cave.
Get in this fucking cave. Alright.
We're going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Sweet Pea wait outside just in case we all die.
I'm gonna have Solar out in case we get like cave-ins and shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hopefully she can give me some
That is
warning.
something that we should really be concerned about, actually. I didn't even think about it, but like, we just got through having an earthquake, and we're gonna go underground exploring in a cave. In the same area that the earthquake just happened in.
It's not the smartest move, is it?
But something could be wrong in there.
But Miles, it's 13.
And it could
Something
yes,
could be
that's
wrong,
true.
and it could be us going into a cave after an earthquake.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be what caused the earthquake.
Yeah.
Well, let's go, boys. Or Esme's gonna go. I mean, y'all can do whatever you want.
Yeah, no, let's do it.
Lucas heard a kid crying in there. He's gonna at least have a look.
Mm-hmm. The actual words were kind of indistinct because, like I said, it's kind of far away. But it sounded like a high-pitched voice almost.
I swear it's the fucking time-traveling Pichu.
That's it.
I think the time-traveling teacher can take care of itself.
I think the time traveling Pichu can take care of anything it wants.
That's true. So the footing is not super smooth at first because you do have to slide down a little bit. Not very far. The cave here is fairly narrow. You can make your way through, but you kind of have to like wiggle your way through where the cave turns, and it does turn quite a bit, so it's difficult to see very far ahead of you. It's also pitch dark after the entrance.
I hate everything about this.
What's wrong?
This is awful.
Let's see.
I mean,
IRL,
Lucas
I
has
do
a big
too, but-
fucking torch. Let's be real here.
Literally none of my Pokemon glow at the moment.
No, Lucas has a big fucking survival torch. Like,
A maglite with which you could club someone if you needed.
Mm-hmm. But once you're inside that passage, you can hear the sounds much more clearly because apparently the acoustics are quite good.
okay.
It's still too indistinct to make out any words, but you hear everyone now can hear the sounds from before.
So, like crashing and like a high-pitched voice of some sort.
Yeah.
Is it like some kid training their big, like an onyx or something?
The crashing doesn't sound that loud for something of that size. It's more just like, it sounds like rocks hitting rocks, like smaller rocks.
Training their Geodude or something?
Seems like a plausible explanation.
Guess we're going in.
We're heading
Alright.
further in, Rev.
And before rocks fall, we die, and then Red chastises us for being so foolish as to go in.
Earthquake happens, the cliff wall shifts and crushes all of you inside the tunnel.
I was hoping that Sola would give us warning of that. She is here.
I ally switch with Sweet Pea.
Sweet Pea has to be willing.
Shush.
That's
Yeah,
true.
it's like you got yourself into this mess, you can get yourself out.
So, yeah, what's up?
I think, can Shuri check again?
Sure. So I will say that Shuri and Sola are both like kind of keeping a supernatural sense out. Doesn't seem like anything is gonna happen. At least as far as I can tell. Sola is checking for another earthquake. Doesn't seem like there's anything here. And Shuri is. I'm not actually sure exactly what Shuri would be checking for, but I'm just gonna say like general, I guess.
Or maybe like looking
to
for
put it-
a mind.
Vibe check.
Sure, yeah. To put it in anime terms, checking for killing intent, and I don't think Shuri is sensing anything like that. So there's nothing directed at you.
Yeah, I was always thinking that they're just looking for anything that actually like is telepathically viable. If that makes sense.
Sure. I would say it's a bit too distant to get like a great sense of everything, but Shuri does sense like some life up ahead, basically.
Sure.
Do we want to do the horror movie cliche of like shouting hello?
Yes.
Let's split the party.
You can
Let's
do that
pick
when you
up-
find a fork in the road.
Let's pick up Dave's artifacts.
Okay, so do you shout into the tunnel?
Miles does. Hello?
Does he actually?
Yeah.
Okay. It echoes a lot. Like I said, the acoustics are quite good. And evidently the sounds that were coming from inside were not actually as loud as they sounded. Because when Miles shouts, the cave seems to echo and almost magnify his voice.
Ooh.
But once he shouts, the sounds of crashing fade after 2 seconds, and you can hear one last high-pitched cry before that too stops.
Did I kill them by yelling?
No, we're just in a horror movie suddenly, it's fine.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
You didn't hear a rock slide or an avalanche inside the dungeon.
Has the darkest skin in character.
Wow.
I think we're all like very white.
I think Lucas is probably the most tanned of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Miles,
Yeah.
I think Miles is actually like legit white, like the color white.
Mm.
I mean, in terms of horror movie tropes, like, none of us really fit any of them that well. His Chance is the cameraman, which means he dies last. Esme is a woman, which means she's around until, like, something fucks her. Miles is the creepy little, like...
I'm the one that's secretly the big bad.
Yeah. And Lucas is, like, the one with some actual sense, so...
And usually they die pretty late in the movie too. So
Yeah.
honestly, we got a pretty good horror movie setup.
Yeah, I guess Esme would have to die first in that case.
I mean, if you only have the good characters who are good at surviving in horror movies, then that just moves you up.
Yeah, true.
Right. Well, I guess we keep walking. question mark.
Yep.
I
Okay.
don't know how far into the mountain this cave is gonna go, but you know, whatever.
Sure. So you make slow progress. It's actually not super far, it seems. But it's pretty slow going to get there because of the footing and how narrow the cave is right now. After maybe 10 minutes of walking, or I guess like half walking, half climbing, you get to a place where the cave widens a little bit. It's enough for you to stand up straight, and the ground is a little bit more worn here. Seems like yeah, it seems
People
like
actually walk this way.
people is a strong term.
Things walk this way.
It seems like there has been some travel here, yes.
Ooh.
Sure.
You see some stalactites that have been kind of knocked over halfway, like it's like they've been broken. And there are what look like scuff marks along the ground.
Well, that's not good.
Maybe not so much scuff marks, but more like scraping.
That's especially not good.
Something being dragged.
Or something that
Yeah.
Or
moves
just
by
something
dragging.
big.
An
Or
onyx
just
would
something
make drag
big.
marks. Or
Yeah.
a big thing, yeah.
So who was leading? Actually,
Probably me.
who are the first two people?
It probably Lucas and me because I want to defend my first friend.
Okay. So basically, the room. This is like a small chamber that you're in, and it forks off to the left and the right.
Yeah. Split
make-
the part.
Make me a perception check.
No, why are you like this?
What's wrong with it?
Because Esme's dumb.
No, Esme's actually clever. She's just blind.
Esme needs glasses.
Okay, let's see.
Okie dokie.
Wow.
Yes, I can make you a perception check.
Okay, so I say that because of the acoustics of the cave, you actually both hear something here. You don't see anything, but it sounds like there's a faint breathing coming from your left.
Oh, we're gonna die.
Faint breathing coming from the left.
Um,
Oh,
yes.
so it means that they're probably down the left-hand tunnel.
Yes. What's your immediate reaction?
I mean, we should
Uh,
probably
like,
stick
hold-
together.
Like, hold my, do the shush motion and just point to the left-hand tunnel.
Okay. Do you point your flashlight in there or no?
If someone is like trying, like, I don't want to let them know I'm coming, so
Sure.
kind of depends. Although they could be trying to ambush us, so yes, I guess actually.
Okay. So you first shush it for a couple seconds, and you hear that the breathing is fairly regular. When you point the light to the left, you suddenly hear a flurry of movement. It doesn't seem to be getting any closer, but you can hear that there's dirt and small rocks being thrown around. And it kind of kicks up a cloud of dust immediately. You don't get a very good view of what it was, but after a few seconds, it seems like there's nothing there.
Something's digging.
First of all, the light that crosses over the area, presumably it was close enough that the light is like fully illuminating the area that it was in.
Yes.
Okay, so it's close. And
Yes.
the second question, with the sounds that we heard and everything like that, are we thinking that it's like a relatively similarly sized creature to ourselves? Or is it much smaller, or is it much bigger?
Can I make a Pokemon
Let's-
check?
Yeah, sure. Make a Pokemon check for that.
Yay. I'm gonna fuck it.
You're gonna fuck the Pokemon?
No, well, I guess if my cat evolves into Incineroar, maybe. Am I
Well,
making a roll?
Depends on how
fuck yeah,
significant
fuck
it
yeah.
is.
All right, so you're still getting used to the acoustics of the cave. Kind of hard to tell exactly how large it was based on that. Right now, your first impression is that it's fairly large. Like maybe, it sounded like it has the lungs of something that's maybe 2/3 the size of a human.
Like the
And-
lung itself just.
No. Like it sounded like it came from a creature that has like the breathing capability of something that's like.
Oh, okay.
Like Miles. Something about the size of Miles.
Just the lungs themselves were 2/3 the size of a human. I was like,
There aren't that many creatures that would fit that description.
it's
No,
a
maybe
rancor.
a cave ursaring or something maybe.
Cave troll.
A cave troll, yeah.
They have
Um,
a cave.
But yeah, so you can't exactly tell, but that's your first instinct. When Lucas points the flashlight at there and the dust settles, you see that the ground is actually fairly smooth. Whatever it is, covered its tracks pretty well. And you also see that that is kind of a dead end.
What, the left hand side?
How is it a dead end? Because it,
Like the
look
left-
around.
Like the left-hand side, the left-hand fork is kind of a dead end. It goes out a little bit, but then it's too narrow to keep going.
So it's something that's
can-
not only about as big as we are, but it's also something that's light enough that it can squeeze through paths that we can't get to.
It seems more likely that it dug into the ground.
Oh, okay. But it also left no trace. Like it.
Not much trace. If you look closely, you can see that the soil there is, or the rock / soil there is loosened, but it's like pretty smooth. Like it's pretty flat. You can't. If you didn't look closely, you wouldn't really be able to tell that it was there. Like it didn't leave behind a mound of soil or anything like that.
Solar has dark vision,
Okay.
so can they have seen, or she have seen where it went?
I will say that it kicked up a cloud of dust. So if Sola only looked at it after it started digging, like after you swung your flashlight in that direction, then she would not have seen anything.
I mean, the other thing is Solar has tracker, so can I, like, get her to go where it was and try? Or is that
you-
not really a thing?
You can try to track it. Unfortunately, its path was through the earth, so you might be able to get
Yeah.
some clues, but I don't think you'll be able to follow it unless you have Sola dig through there too. In which case, you probably can't follow.
No, that's fine. Never mind then.
Okay. So yeah, the left hand is a yep one.
And can I put out treats to try and lure it out?
So you can put some treats there. There doesn't seem to be any response though.
No, the treats.
It's not here anymore.
They're all dusty now.
Do you want
I
to leave the
guess-
treats there, or do you want to take them away again?
I'm gonna leave them there.
I mean, if it's empty, and it's a dead end, then I guess we go to the right instead.
Okay.
I mean, it's,
So, like I said, the passage is a little wider here. Unfortunately, the decision being made for you has come to an abrupt halt because there's another fork in the road, left and right. And let's say the left. From the left side. The left side goes. I'll say the left side goes a little bit downwards, and it feels like it's a little bit cooler. The right side stays more or less level, and yeah, so that's the difference that you can sense right there.
Hmm.
I'm kind of surprised Chance isn't like with his chat going like, which way should we go? And the chat is probably like, split the party.
Twitch chat decide which way we go.
Twitch plays Pokemon. Let's go.
You want to stay on the level path for now? Just keep going right, or do you want to go down towards the?
We split the party.
We don't split the party. We never split the party. Don't split the party.
It must be done. Breva's
you don't wanna
clearly
die, I
set up
mean,
a horror movie for
You
us.
don't want to find adventure.
How about we go down each path for like a minute and see if there's either one of them dead end?
Well, I mean, if we're trying to find the thing that just left, then it dug down, so maybe we go down.
I like that logic. That's good logic.
Well, we don't even know if the thing that we saw is relevant at all. If it was just a random wild Pokemon that.
Do you have a better
Yes, I
lead?
know.
No, I'm just like, I don't want to go away from the surface any more than we have to. Because we are fragile human creatures in undergrounds after earthquakes.
I mean, Lucas looks at Solar, and Solar's probably just like shrug. So, and he looks back and goes, I mean, if something bad was gonna happen, Solar would be saying something.
So look and talk. Speak to me, wise dog.
Tell me your secrets.
I imagine Sola's looking at Esme with the same level of annoyance that Lucas typically does.
Lucas isn't annoyed usually, more bemused. Some of the stuff that Esme does.
Yeah, that's fair. I say we go down.
I vote down.
We all go down.
All right. You descend. So when I say I went down, it wasn't actually that steep of a down. It's more like just like a gentle slope that goes gradually down. And the path seems fairly easy to traverse. Let's see.
And 360 degrees and walk away.
Oh, 360 degrees, nice.
Yes.
But also Lucas will turn to Chance, but also you get the rarer Pokemon further down underground. I think. I don't know. Maybe a
So-
chat wants it.
Yes.
Seems sus.
So a little ways into it, there is kind of like a large pillar in the middle of what looks like a bit of a cavern. Like it widens a bit.
Oh,
Make me a. The pillar looks a little bit odd though. Make me a survival check.
The pillar
Everyone?
looks odd.
Yeah, the texture of the wall of the pillar face looks a little bit odd.
Behold, survival checks.
is everybody doing survival?
Sure. Actually, do me better of survival or general ed. Well, I don't think that's actually very different. Esme, please.
Esme roll more than a 3. Oh, you
Miles
did
roll
before
me
you
more
rolled
than
a
a
4.
3.
I
Miles
bet
roll
you
more than
anything if
3.
I rolled again, it would probably either be worse or way better.
Do it.
Like,
Roll
by an
again.
absurd amount.
I mean, the chances are in your favor. I was just about to say the chances are in your favor, but evidently not today.
Oh my god, wait, I'm gonna
Fucking
try-
rib.
Oh my god! Yes,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
die!
You've gotten them out of the way. The next one will be good. Don't worry. Just don't roll again, or else you'll use it up. Okay, so Lucas, you probably. Where has Lucas traveled before? In Sinnoh.
Oh god, I'll have to look at the map. Hang on a sec.
Can we play on that briefly? You're only looking at a white space anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm from like up north here, aren't I?
Yeah,
I'm
northwest, like here,
here somewhere.
roughly. Yeah.
Although probably more like here because it was meant to be like mountain.
Yeah. Sure.
I thought it was
so-
up here before.
Sure.
Is it
like
up there? Sure.
Yeah. Somewhere in this area.
Somewhere in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Mountain.
Somewhere
So-
in there, and you came down to Sandgem.
Yeah. So I can believe, to be honest, that he spent most of his younger years, at the very least, either in, you know what I mean, in the forest, or he's probably been into a cave or two at the least, because you do get them in the cliff face. But
Okay.
I mean, in the times that we've been in this campaign and slightly before it, he's gone from here down to Sandjet.
Which
covered,
way? Left or east or west?
He would have gone down through Shiverglade, Arboreth,
Arborist, so
Okay. In that case,
that way.
take out that survival check, making a general ed check instead.
Oh my fucking god. No.
I refuse.
Do I have to?
Yes.
That's the worst thing.
I mean, unless you don't want to know anything about it, that's also fine.
Go on, hey. Better than
Okay.
everyone else, maybe.
Hey,
Alright.
you know what? Fuck.
It's true. So so I will say that what the survival check reminds you of is that it looks like a little bit like the texture of bark. But
The column was the pillar.
yes, but
It is a
does seem
pseudo-udo.
to clearly be not wood.
It's
some
it's
sort
totally a huge pseudo-udo, isn't it?
No, it's just fossilized wood, right? It's petrified.
That seems possible if you know what that is. I don't know if you're in an area where that would. That's why I asked you for a general check.
Yeah.
I would say it's probably good enough to at least have heard of it. You're not like intimately familiar with it, but you have enough to piece together that might be what it is. Same with chance, I would say. So yeah, there is basically a fairly large petrified tree, it seems like, in the middle of this cavern. And if you look more closely, there seems to be some more, although partially buried, samples in the walls here.
Are there any creepy hieroglyphics?
Nah, it's just trees.
Guys,
Just trees.
why is there an underground forest?
When
I mean the
evidence
roots.
traced here that there wasn't an underground.
I mean the roots of that tree were pretty deep, so it stands to reason that you find underground truths.
I mean, he did, like Lucas looks like at the big, the cave we're in, and then it's the petrified tree just in the middle of it, and it's like, I don't know. This just seems a bit unlikely. Anyone else getting that whole maybe this is out of place feeling
Yeah, a little
we
bit.
had from like the houses that were stuck in the wall?
Oh.
Anyone else getting some of that?
Well,
going on?
I am now.
Maybe out of place, out of time, whatever the fucking whatever happened last time.
I don't know. Miles, can you make an occult education check?
Wow, that was incredibly in character.
Super, I see.
I can. I don't know if it'll help, but there's a 15.
You know Esme can break the fourth wall sometimes, but it's very great.
That's fine. So, before you, let's see. Actually, no, you've already made a general ed check, so you're perfectly fine to conclude whatever you'd like. Let's see.
I don't get general ed anymore because I'm so bad. I'm just gonna be dumb.
I'm just gonna be intentionally dumb.
Yeah, I'm super smart, like, in secret, but, like, my dice rolls are so bad everyone doesn't believe me.
Fucking
I would
Cassandra
say
over
that
here.
you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. At least, okay. So, what exactly are you looking for? More.
Oh, I have a thing. What's that thing I have? Do I have a thing? Oh no, I don't have a thing. I thought I had a thing, but I don't. I don't know, anything ghosty or psychic-y or looking like it was in that other place, the ruins, that had I imagine, a particular occulty feel to it.
Sure.
I'm looking for a similar occulty feel.
Do you have something to see, like the psychic/ghosty traces?
No, I don't believe I do. I have mystic senses, but that's not the one that does that.
Right. I will say that it was pretty subdued even back in Alamos Ruins. Like, it didn't have an explicitly odd feel to it, except when you were close to the the distortions.
Mm.
And this place, you're not really feeling much of much weirdness going on.
Perhaps we should see if Lyndon can take a look later. I think he's still around, right?
No, he's off in Eterna Forest.
No, we'll send Javelin to go fucking kidnap him. It's fine.
Oh my god.
But Javelin doesn't know how to fly.
What?
I'm
Wait, what?
kidding. Doesn't know fly. You know, the move fly.
Go fast travel.
Okay. Either way, so we don't know basically. I've just drawn a conclusion in character because this place weirds me out. Either
Sure.
way, I'm gonna look around the cavern and see if anything is here, and if not, then I'm gonna keep fucking going.
Is this an end to a path, or is this a path
No.
continuing?
The path continues. So basically, like the tree is kind of in the way, but if you step around it, you can see that there's another path behind it. But if Lucas steps around the tree with his flashlight, farther down the path that continues forward, he hears a bit of a squeak.
Zubats.
And
Oh, don't jinx us like that.
he sees something very pale and kind of fairly low to the ground, but he only catches a brief glance at it before it slips away back into the darkness.
Giant albino Zubats.
A squeak. So it's squeaked and it's low to the ground. Is it like a foot tall? A couple of foot tall?
I would say it's probably just under a foot tall. It had a kind of a wispy tail, or a trail or something, that it was behind it when it went away.
Is it a baby Reshiram?
That would
Hey.
seem unlikely.
Hey, can
Okay.
I fail another Pokemon Ed check?
Sure. I will also add that its movement was very smooth. It didn't look like it was and you also didn't hear anything when it was moving.
It's
So
a
it's soundless and it moves smoothly. Sure.
And it's white,
Yes.
and it's low to the ground.
Yes.
No clipping through the walls.
No clipping through the walls. It was in fact observing the laws of physics as far as walls are concerned. Okay. As far as I remember, like out of character, that doesn't really sound like it matches the description of much.
No.
No.
I'm
Swirlix,
just
maybe?
Cast form.
Maybe?
That sounds like kind of similar actually. So that could be a
But
guess.
you didn't tell me it was a floating pair of testicles, so I'm guessing it's not.
Boobs.
It did have a sort of round shape, but it was more top heavy than bottom heavy,
Oh jeez.
That could still be a Swirlix.
or an upside down cast form.
Keep it up.
All right, but in any case,
Either way, I'm gonna carry on down the path after my brief encounter with the unknown kind.
Yeah.
sure.
I guess my Pokehead check is worthless as per usual. I'm so sad.
I think the real issue here is you're getting like a second-hand account because like only I am catching this apparently. So I think your difficulty check is going to be quite high for these.
I like to think Lucas is terrible at describing things. in
Yeah, I
canon.
also would agree that Lucas is probably crap at describing things.
There is also
Yeah.
another reason I'm not going to reveal right now that it's probably difficult, but yeah, this would be pretty difficult. Okay, so you follow the path down, and this one actually continues for a while, and it does go down even further, and the air feels noticeably cooler down here. Another thing you notice is that there are the sound of dripping water.
down further into the cave.
Yes.
It's probably an underground river of some kind, right?
Ooh.
It could be, but like if there's stalactites, then they're just formed by water that goes, drips from the ceiling. So it doesn't necessarily. Like if it's dripping, then it's probably just water coming down through the ceiling. If it's
Sure.
like a rushing noise, then it's a river. Look at me being like actual survival check over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you follow the path, and when you do, the, the there's another sort of wider section, and when you go there, you catch sight of the white thing again, and it hurriedly moves off. But this time you saw that it was a bit higher off the ground than before.
Wait.
Oh, so it's floating.
I bring treats. Come back.
It pays no heed to you and your trees. But if you examine this room a little bit, you see there are actually mushrooms growing here.
Can I see if I have a clue what type of mushroom they are?
Sure, make me a survival check.
Yeah, look at me go.
Oh no, it's
That's not great on 5d6, but it's an okay check.
Sure. So, it's surprisingly actually a fairly common variety, and they're harmless. They are very faintly. Actually, let's see.
Hallucinogenic.
Yes, that no. So they're harmless, and they're actually considered, good for cooking. And out of character, they are tiny mushrooms.
I mean, Lucas is a cheapskate, and so we'll literally pick the mushrooms and put them in a bag to cook later.
Sure. So you now have 1x tiny mushroom packet.
Thanks, tiny. Okay. What is a tiny mushroom? What does this come under?
They
It's a status
Are they
item.
food stuff?
Yeah, it's like a food item. I don't remember the exact thing. I think it's like you lose 5 HP and get one random combat stage or something like
It
that.
is. Should I put
Yeah.
like quantity of like 4 or something?
1.
do it. This is a small patch for now. Just do it one for now.
So one mushroom, sure.
Yeah, the in game these are like sellable items, and I would think I would treat them the same way here. Just for this place.
Okay, cool. I
Right.
acquire a tiny mushroom. Sure.
Okay. And past this room, the path drastically narrows again for a brief section, but still large enough for you to squeeze through.
Okay. Keep on going. We gotta catch this weird floaty white thing.
Okay. So when you squeeze through that place, while you're still mid-squeeze, you see two of them up ahead as your flashlight gets a little bit as you're trying to squeeze through, and they, without a sound, they go deeper in. But when you do squeeze through, you see that you actually have another branch in the road. The things flew off to the left. On the right, there is another large fossilized tree, and then that path continues deeper as well.
Well, I mean, if Lucas is leading, he'll sort of, well, there's more trees that way, or the things we've been following went left.
We should probably follow the thing.
I don't think they're in any rush. I'd like to check out the trees and see if there's anything interesting over there. I mean, I think more than likely we're being led somewhere.
I mean, that's the impression I'm getting at this point, yeah. What do you want to do, Miles? Do you want to go look at some trees?
I want to find out the source of the screamies,
I
which
think
is
that's
probably the
Pokemon.
things. Yeah. That is my answer.
So the party is literally split.
I'm abstaining, so we're going left.
Okay. Let's see. So, I guess, okay, if it makes a difference, one extra piece of information. The dripping sound seems to be coming from the right.
Oh, the dripping's coming from the right. It might be worth taking a look on the right because you can get some interesting Pokemon in places where you get like water in places it's not normally. So if you want to see something like that,
Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm fine either way.
let's do the. Well, I'm gonna vote right all of a sudden. So we're going well. We're going which direction? Are we going right or left? I'm not splitting the party. We're making a decision.
I'm gonna follow friend Lucas. Just so he
Right.
knows
That
what's
means
up.
we're going right then.
Okay.
I'm looking for carbon.
Okay. So you you go towards the right, past that large fossilized tree. So in this part of like in this cave, there are occasional like fossilized trees all over the place, mostly buried into the walls, with the occasional one as like a pillar in outside the walls. And okay, make me a perception check.
Ooh, all of us or just Lucas?
I mean, Miles is better at it than Lucas is.
So this is a hearing. This is probably a hearing based perception check.
Oh, so the unknown probably aren't very good at it.
Right. I will say that outside of the dripping sound from up ahead, there's a bit of a trickling sound. It's a little bit fainter, coming from the right,
Someone's
from
peeing.
the wall.
From the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wander over in that direction, see if I can. Like, do I find like rivulets coming down the wall or something?
Yes. If you
Cool.
turn the flashlight in that direction.
Interesting.
I love a good rivulet.
All right.
I do. It's good. Rivulet's a good word.
Oh,
It
I
is.
couldn't tell if you were taking the mic. Is there nothing else in the room, or?
That depends on where you're looking.
Well, I guess I'll do a slow circle around the. Like, I'll just go around and look at the walls and then B inside.
So this part is more of a narrower passage. It's not much of a room.
Oh, okay.
There's just, is it basically like a circular room with the tree in the center and then the path continuing onwards?
Yeah, you've gone past the tree already, so you're in a passage again.
Okay. Well then I guess we'll just keep going down the passage towards the water, right?
Okay. So if you take a step forward, feel your leg grasped by an icy cold touch. You've stepped into a puddle.
I get a puddle deep enough to step into, like
Yes.
properly.
Yes, it seems like
Gotcha, so-
this part of the passage went down a little bit, like a depression, sort of.
Was it what like when you're going down the stairs or up the stairs and you miss a step? It's just like
Yes.
thunk,
Feels-
splash.
Who is the one? Right, is this me stepping into the puddle, or? Because I think I'm still leading, because I've got the torch. So is this me?
Yes, I guess so.
I mean, I'll point the torch down if something. Like, I'll try and yank my leg out and like point the torch and see if I
Yep.
can see what it is.
Nothing holds you back. It's just a puddle. It's kind of like almost like a. It's like an indent into the ground. Pretty smooth.
Well, good thing I'm wearing gigantic hiking boots, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, that's good.
No wet socks for me. Cool. I mean, I'll like. Lucas will just sort of look mildly annoyed and be like, "Watch your step," and then just carry on going. And he'll keep the light so he can see the floor in front of him and
Wait,
try and avoid any more of them.
That's what I
wait,
was
friend
trying-
Lucas. There's an urban legend that says you can see dead people if you stare into a puddle in the cave.
Hey, Lucas, make me an occult ed check to see if that's true.
Ha 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 ha!
I mean, he's not
Um,
gonna believe Esme regardless.
I mean, okay. I mean, I'll roll an occult ed check, right?
Uh-huh.
Right. No, well, not that. All right. It's better than Esme's rolling on Pokehead at the moment.
Oof.
Okay. Why must you hurt me?
So, as always, whenever listening to Esme, you know, you're reasonably suspicious. You might have heard a rumor, something similar to that somewhere before, but it doesn't sound like you don't remember something that clearly says that.
Miles can back me up.
Oh, are you bringing Miles into this?
Miles
Yes.
could back Esme up.
Do I get the feeling that Esme is telling the truth, that there is an urban legend that is that?
That depends. Is Esme telling the truth?
As far as she knows, yes.
Okay, so it's not much of a. I would ask you to make an intuition, and we'll get, regardless of the result, it's you think she's telling the truth.
So Miles solemnly nods. It's true.
Okay.
What's true? But you can see dead people if you look in a puddle.
Yes, in a
In a
cave.
dark place, yes.
Lucas turns to look at Esme and be like, "Why is it that sometimes when you say something, it sounds like you just made it up 30 seconds ago?"
I think she would just like blink at him and be like, "I only tell the truth, as far as I'm aware."
Like 5 seconds ago. She literally just thought about it and like stream of consciousness into existence.
I mean, she saw the puddle and was like, "Hey, I remember a creepy fun fact."
The train of thought connects directly to the mouth.
Mm.
And those are where the tracks go.
Express service, no stops.
Is
What's the-
is the path continuing down directly into the water, or is
No,
there like a way
it's
to
just
skirt
like
around it?
there is a, you can step over it basically. It's just like a small depression in the ground.
Oh, okay. Does it have a clear, like, I mean, if we shine the light on it, does it have a clear defined bottom, or is it?
Do you want to stare into the puddle?
Yeah. If it's
Lucas
not
will point
opaque,
the torch at the puddle for you.
Okay. Who is doing the staring?
Chance will do it.
Okay. Roll me a occult ed.
A stare puddle check.
Puddle staring. While you do that, I'm just gonna be right back.
I'm gonna do the same. I've been bursting for the loo for a while.
Sure.
You guys,
Okay.
you won't believe it. I rolled a 2 on a 2d6.
You'll have to wait for them to come back first.
I feel
No.
your pain. I feel it so hard.
Maybe you are all going to die down here.
Maybe. I always have bad luck with rolls. Maybe I'm just cursed. Because I'm trying so hard to be helpful, and instead I'm just a friggin' idiot. Like, yes, I think this is in fact a Pokemon. Oh well. I was kind of hoping Rev would, like, run with it and have there be a ghost Pokemon or something in the puddle, but knowing my
Hey.
rolls, it's just gonna be like, lel, it's your reflection.
I mean,
You're a
I'm
dead
less-
people.
I haven't given a response yet, so
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm less concerned with it being like ghost Pokemon or any sort of Pokemon thing. I'm just curious if it's just
dead
a
people.
random hole that has water in it, or if it's like bored into the ground and like if it's like super deep. I mean, because it is weird for there to be a random hole with water in it with no source of water, you know?
Well, there was the trickling, right? Is it
Did we
maybe coming from above?
Well,
no,
we don't know.
it's coming out of the wall. There are a lot of Megadectrio.
Back.
There's a lot of Megadectrio art out there.
Oh,
Some of
geez.
it was worse than others.
What? Mega Duck Trio?
Some of it is worse than others.
That's very Tremors of you.
I
The
feel.
Megatria don't want to, like, eat anybody. They're just like, hello!
What?
Welcome back. How's it
What,
going?
what's happening? I'm
Nothing
worried.
no
Concerned
trio, that's
about-
all.
I'm scared.
Alright.
And alone.
Alright, so, um, you know, those rumors or stories that Esme and Lucas have, or Esme and Miles have been talking about, you know, you think you're a pretty logical guy generally, but they're getting into a little bit. So when you look, there is some rippling in the water, and when it slows, you think you see a very pale white face staring back at you.
I mean, Chance wasn't even hardly paying attention to them. He was just curious as the hole went down further than I was anticipating.
And now you get a dead person.
And now I'm failing a will saving throw.
Yeah, basically. But no, the rippling was from when Lucas stepped into it earlier, and this is just your own face lit up by the flashlight. The
Yeah,
hole
no,
doesn't the hole doesn't go very deep. It's literally just like a small indent in the ground, probably caused by erosion through the water.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but as Lucas heads up the path, he sees the source of the dripping sound. There is a fairly large pool of water in front of him, and there is some water dripping from the ceiling and dropping into the pool.
Out of curiosity, Lucas, will you, like, just really quickly whip the camera back, or whip the flashlight back around the other direction to see if those creatures are following us now?
Do you like walk up behind him and say, "Turn around now" or something?
Behind you.
Like, I mean, okay, if we
I'm
somehow
curious if
communicate
they're
that,
following us, yeah.
and then
Okay.
he'll quickly turn around and show the flashlight the other way.
You blind Esme. You don't see anything else behind you.
That was the full point, really. I mean, that was really what I was going for.
Lucas, Chance is bullying me.
Oh my god.
Actually, is Miles the last person?
Probably, yeah.
I was picturing that because I would have actually pictured Chance to be the second one because Chance would have wanted to like get everything as close to the camera.
Oh, you want it on camera and you'd be able to see.
Sure. So right now the order is Lucas, Chance, Esme, and Miles.
Yep.
More or less. Yeah. So you blind Esme and you don't see anything else. Let's see.
This Esme really fucking tall.
Esme is definitely the tallest in the group.
No.
Let's see. Chance and Lucas, make me a perception check.
I like how I keep like optimistically continuing to roll.
How do you think I feel?
Pessimistically, continue to roll.
Lucas has 5d6. Chance has 2d6. Why do I even bother?
Because you can roll better than me.
Technically, yeah. Possible.
In theory.
So, Chance notices some more of those mushrooms from before. And Lucas, when he swings the flashlight around, he sees a glint on the water.
On the water?
Mm-hmm.
What, you mean the puddle?
Yep, so this one's a little bit deeper than the previous one. It's not
This
huge,
is
but
so. Oh, right.
this
So
is
I'm
the
now
one in
facing
front.
forward again. I'm
Yes.
facing, but okay, sure.
So is this a wider puddle as well, or is it the same?
Yes.
level?
Like a pool.
this is like more of a like a small pool or even a small pond kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I see a glint.
Like metal?
Yeah.
Not
do you mean-
precisely metal. More like a
Okay.
reflective flat surface.
I mean, Lucas, when he sees that, will just sort of slowly approach the pool and see if we can find what it was.
Okay. It does seem to be a little bit deeper.
Chance
And-
will harvest the mushroom and give it to whoever was collecting them.
Okay.
I don't remember
No.
who was keeping track of it.
I think I've got it in my inventory, so
Yep.
I'll
Yeah,
take it
go
up to
ahead.
2.
Yep. So it is a little bit deeper in the water. Do you want to walk into the pool?
Walk into the pool? Is it big enough for me to walk into it?
Yes.
Are we still in the process of trying to figure out what's in it?
Yes.
Can the unknown just kind of hover over it?
Yes.
Then let's do that.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
didn't bring any water Pokemon besides my fucking massive serpent.
Have some perceptions for your general use.
Okay. So the unknown kind of hover around where the glint came from, and they kind of triangulate that it's the shape of a like a small rock kind of thing.
Ooh. Can they levitate it up?
Sure, they can. So they levitate up whatever it is, and it's dripping water into the pool since it was underneath. But if Lucas shines the light on it, it seems like it is a water stone.
Ooh.
cool.
Nifty.
Nice. Does anyone actually need one of those?
The unknown are going to present it to Esme for use with the future EVs.
Thank you.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Unless someone else wants to, like, object to that.
Does anyone actually have a Pokemon that evolves with the Water Stone? I don't think I've got one.
Boom.
I
Chance
don't
to
think
use.
I have any Pokemon that use stones.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, I will hold on to it for now.
Sure. It does seem that the pool goes deeper, but and into like a kind of passage, but that passage is completely underwater.
How do we roll for like massive breath holding?
Athletics, I think.
Athletics.
Yeah, that
Or
would,
maybe focus at a push.
yeah, I think it's athletics. Actually, I think you just have like a breath holding capability proportional to your athletics.
I know who we needed. We needed Nebby. Nebby's
Nebby
actually
would
about
be
the right
good.
size to go exploring.
I've got Swerte.
I've forgotten
Yeah,
who
you-
Nebby
You could have
is.
Swerte go to take a look
Maybe
around
is
if you want.
the Seadra.
The Seadra, right.
Yeah. Gary the Gyarados is a bit too big.
Yes.
And
A little
Sweet
bit.
Pea would just kind of look at that and be like, "Are you fucking serious?"
My
It's
pea
not a
puddle's
huge-
bigger than this.
It's not a huge passage, and it seems like the direction is it's leading upwards.
Oh, so the water's just collecting from somewhere above. Probably.
Yeah, Swerte's gonna send Chance is gonna send Swerte out to go check it out.
Okay. So Sorte can't quite fit into it, but he can, go underwater and look up. It's dark in there, but he doesn't see anything unusual on the other side. Just darkness.
Okay.
Past the little part where the flashlight can hit.
Wait, how big is Forte? Because if he can't fit, are
He's
any of us
small.
gonna be able to fit?
Swerte's
It's a-
small, so
It's a pretty small hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would have to have a literally tiny Pokemon, which I think small is actually the smallest size category. But like a Joltik is not as small as a Azumarill, even though they're both
Yeah,
considered
yeah.
small.
I don't think I
So-
have any small Pokemon.
That's the end of this route though, right through the tunnels.
Yes, it seems so.
So I guess Lucas will get so he's once again in front but going the other way, and avoid the fucking puddle and not step in it again, and walk all the way back.
I'm glad you
Not-
specified that, or else I would make you step in the puddle.
I know you would.
But not anybody else got it, so somebody else randomly steps in the puddle.
I am too used to our previous GM. I know.
Really?
Yeah. I look up. Wait, I look up.
You look up.
Check the fucking ceiling.
You're just in time for another earthquake, and the nearest stalactite, I think, from the top.
Yes.
The nearest stalactite cracks off and embeds itself straight into your skull.
It's
Oh,
it's
I
like
wish
that.
I'm out of the way.
It's like the church scene from Hot Fuzz.
I was actually thinking there was a reverse gravity puddle and looking up, you caused it.
It,
to
oh
revert
no,
back to
it's like fucking
the-
cartoons. When you look down, you gravity starts again.
Yeah. And yeah, the way I remember is stalactite with a C is in the ceiling, and stalagmites with a G are in the ground.
Stalactites hold on tightly, and stalagmites stand mightily.
I think there's another syllable you missed there. You said mightly.
Mightily. You know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
Are
Okay.
you pronunciation for these things?
Maybe.
No problem.
So you go past the puddle. No one is a casualty, thankfully, thanks to your warning. And you find that that one fossilized tree again. And you see branching paths. Left is the one you came from, and then there's another path to the right, where the white shapes had gone the first time.
Yeah. So at this point, we want to go down that way and go take a look.
Okay. Okay. So, you come across another fork in the road. The left one seems wider than the right one, but otherwise there doesn't seem to be much of a difference between them.
Can Sola see anything down either one of them with dark vision? Because I assume she's actually got better vision than us, even with the torch.
Yeah, so they do bend a little bit, so she can see a couple meters, I would say like 6-7 meters, but there's nothing at the end of either one. But she does see that the left path, the wider one, seems to go into a larger room. Meanwhile, the right one just goes
Rod
into
and
a...
say left or right.
Well, if the left one goes into a room, more than likely rooms are going to be significant. Whether it's a dead end or it's something else, I mean, it's probably want to check that out first.
Trust the dog.
All right, we go left.
Okay. And ahead of you, you actually see a number of the white shapes that are now noticeably floating, now that you have a slightly better look at them. They avoid the light that you shine on them. But otherwise, they're not running away or making any noise. At the far end of the room, you see a significantly larger white shape. Let me post what they look like.
Ooh.
It's in 3 minutes.
I don't appreciate this.
So these are the small ones.
That was when you stepped into the pool.
And this
It's
is the
a
large
dead.
one.
It's a dead whatever it's called.
Axolotl.
No, the thing that evolves into Wobbuffet.
Oh.
Thing looks like a whooper. But
Whooper, that's it, a dead Whooper.
Whooper doesn't
Like-
evolve into Wobbuffet.
I
Yeah.
I was going to say.
It looks like a dead Whooper though. What is that thing? Holy crap!
It's a salamander, I think. Ghost type salamander? Because the first one is an axolotl. Is a ghost axolotl, and and an axolotl is a type of salamander.
nice thing is it doesn't look overtly hostile just from the graphic alone.
No, it looks kind of chill.
Yeah.
Sagemon.
It
No.
looks stoned out of its fucking mind.
So the smaller ones kind of hover near the edges of the room. The bigger one floats forward a little bit and makes a kind of a high-pitched noise in your direction.
High-pitched noise
Miles
back.
makes a high pitched noise back.
I knew that.
Does it appear that it might be the same noise that we heard earlier?
It seems that is likely.
Do I dare Do I dare roll a Pokea check? I don't know if
You can.
I can, but at what cost?
What only your dignity.
Well, I don't have any of that.
I had to guess. I'm thinking normal ghost.
Oh my god, it's a 12.
Okay, so now that you had a closer look at them, the smaller ones are reminiscent of Wooper, although as far as you know, Wooper don't hover. And these ones, it seems like their eyes are mostly degenerated, or at least they're not used for. Well, there's not light. There's no light here, and from your knowledge of
It's a
that,
golem whooper.
yeah. The large one is a little bit, it's not as reminiscent, but considering it's here with the things that seem like Wooper, you suspect that it is the evolved form,
It's a
which would make it a Quagsire.
Quagsire.
God, so, like, why does it have eyes that are the same as if you win Windows Solitaire?
What?
Like, someone's just grabbed the pre-Evo eye and just, copy-pasted it a gazillion times in a line.
Yeah, so if you take a bit of a closer look, they're not actually eyes so much as they are degenerated eye sockets, or like you know how there's I don't remember what animal has it, but they have like primitive eye like bumps or something like that can detect light, but they don't actually see anything.
I think like there's the little deer that have like this really bizarre name. I don't remember off the top of my head. There's like an African deer that's like tiny that has like eye-like. What's that?
Dick-dicks?
Dick-dicks. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, they have like an eye pocket thing.
Yeah, that's
underneath the eyes.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know the details of that, but this sounds kind of similar. They're not like indented; they are like going outward a little bit, but it doesn't seem like there's a pupil or anything. Oh, okay, that's a little creepier than I thought it would be. But yeah, like these are going out a little bit, but it doesn't seem like there's a pupil or anything in it.
I want to hug all these little ghost babies.
And actually, I'm hoping they're not hostile because they actually kind of look to me.
So the Quagsire had attempted to communicate with you. You had made some high-pitched noises back, but it seems to have ignored that.
Ugh.
True time.
I shouldn't have looked up what those things are for. the pits under the eyes of the dick-dicks.
Yeah, it ain't great.
They're filled with a dark, sticky secretion, and they jam grass and twigs into those holes to scent mark territories.
Yikes. Why?
I could have done without knowing that.
They're cool though. Don't bully the babies.
They're also really tiny.
They are very tiny.
That picture doesn't give scale, but they're like the size of a what are those really chill rodents that are like they get along with everything?
Capybara.
Capybara. Yeah, they're like the size of a capybara. So like,
I feel like capybaras are bigger than this.
Dick-dicks stand at 30 to 40 centimeters at the shoulder.
Are you sure it's not a quokka? Those are very chill. Short-tailed scrub wallabies. They're known for being very chill.
They're about as long as. Oh no, they're like. They're a fair bit smaller than a capybara.
oh yeah.
Maybe like 2/3 of the height, and like much less long, and of course much less heavy. They're quite small.
Anyways, yeah. So I guess Chance will wave and approach closer.
Okay. And as you do, two of the Woopers that were off on the side kind of move to in front of the Quagsire, kind of flanking in front like guards.
That can't be real. That's photoshopped or something, right?
Oh, that's an
No,
actual
that's
animal.
yeah, that's a quokka.
That is like that looks like CGI.
I believe they're fairly isolated in their environment, and the government wherever they are is really annoyed at tourists coming along because they get like, you know, domesticated almost,
Mm,
and it fucks them up.
right.
Okay, so yeah, Chance will stop. You know, he's not like looking to make any sort of hostile action or anything like that,
Hmm.
and tries to, I guess, look back at the others and try to intuit what they're wanting.
Okay.
Like, what are
Uh,
they, their intentions?
you're looking back at like the rest of the group.
Yeah.
When you do that, you see that there are two of them behind you now.
Okay.
Yep,
I'm
Chance gonna die.
I'm not. I'm not nervous yet. Um,
Oh,
I just look back at the what I'm gonna call the Quagsire and try to see if it does anything after
Yeah.
waiting for like 10 seconds.
It makes another high-pitched noise, and then a kind of a series of noises, like it's trying to converse with you. And then
Hey,
it
Miles, the unknown what it.
Yeah,
know what it
can the
says.
unknown translate?
I think vaguely, yes.
What?
Um,
How do they vaguely translate it?
okay, so apparently there is they are kind of the Quagsire is trying to strong arm you into helping it.
What
With kind of a
with?
so it elaborates. There is a bit of a territorial dispute going on here. Um, and you picture basically they sort of you get kind of a fuzzy picture because it's being like like a game of telephone.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks, for all intents and purposes, it looks like a Geodude. And then there's a bigger shape behind it.
Graveler, probably.
And then you see that you get the sensation that it's warmer wherever they are.
Right.
And then it has the you get the idea that it's trying to make it's strong arm you, but at the same time it's also offering a trade for your assistance.
Hmm. What's it offering?
Let's see. So, it's offering three
One of the-
things.
no.
So it's offering three things.
Hmm.
One is what looks like a dark plate, like
Right.
a dark colored plate. The second is what looks like almost a large connected colony of mushrooms, with one large one at the center.
Hmm.
Um, and as far as they're expressing, it seems like it can be used as some sort of medicine.
Right.
And the last thing it's offering is war prisoners from the other side.
Jesus.
Right. Okay. Sure.
What are the war prisoners?
Geodude, presumably, or similar rock types.
Can I see it?
Yeah. Can we
See.
see the prisoner?
Oh, basically, it's telling you that in the course of battle, you can.
Oh, we can capture whatever we want there. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
It's a win-win situation.
The thought strikes me that if we go and fight them, why can't we just capture what we want anyway? Like, why do we need these guys' permission?
It's more. It's more. It's more. It's bringing up the like. That's something. You
The
can do.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how do we feel about war?
Well,
Not great.
we don't know anything about these creatures or their opponents. Like, it's presenting us an option, but it hasn't given us any incentive yet. Like,
It's trying to force us.
and it's very difficult to get an incentive because we're playing telephone through a very tinny connection. You know, like, we're getting pictures and stuff like that.
Well,
What are these creatures? Like, Esme, can you make a Pokemon education check to, like, tell us what these creatures even are?
Can I, Rev?
Yes.
Can I just point the decks at them?
You can.
Surely, at this
sorry.
range, it can tell me like a name.
It will probably say it shares some. It seems to share some similarities of with Wooper. It'll say unknown. It'll give a bunch of unknown data notifications, and it will suggest that it may be a regional variant.
Right.
There's some
And-
sort of subterranean Wooper.
Yeah, and the Quagsire communicates once it's like through the connection, it senses the question that they've been here a long time.
Well, we can at least agree to go talk to the opposing side, right?
Basically, it's saying stop them bullying us, and we'll give you some stuff.
yes.
They haven't even communicated, like, we're insinuating that. They haven't even communicated that they're bullying against you. It's like a turf war, and we're being used to go execute the other side for their benefit. Like, we have no idea whether or not the other side is hostile or, like, they're trying to
Lucas
defend
looks
themselves.
around at the pile of ghost Wooper, and it's like, yeah, but on the other hand, if we say no, I get the impression that looks again at the pile of ghost Wooper, that maybe these things might do something to us. I think that's the implication.
In which case, they're not the good side anyway, and then we should,
Yeah, but I vote for not getting splattered by a bunch of ghost types.
Like I said, I reckon we get some information and go talk to the other side.
And it seems to be accepting of that that decision, if that's what you were going to do, because at least it's the first step.
Yes, also sorry about the roll, I double-clicked on
worries.
accident.
No worries.
You are banned from rolling for this failure.
Good.
Does it tell us which way? Are they just down the other side of the passage?
And it seems to affirm that. And to that, when you think back, there was the signs, and now that you recognize it for what it is, there was the signs of a scuffle there. The drag marks, things like that.
Sure.
Considering Geodude are involved, they probably they were probably hitting the ground and other things.
Let's talk
Sure.
to
I mean,
the dudes.
I guess literally, well, I guess we like let them know that's what we're gonna do, and then we wander all the way back, and then go down the other path.
Okay. And somewhat surprisingly, they let you go. Make me a perception check, though. Let's see. Let's say. Actually, it wouldn't be you. It would be Esme and Miles.
No! God damn you.
People at the back. Hey, that's pretty decent.
It's something.
Okay. So they it seems like they're kind of curious because even as they're tailing you, you see two Wooper falling behind, maybe a little bit closer than they should. But when you turn around, they dart back into cover.
We're getting played, boys.
One of the unknown is just going to be watching them as they go.
Okay, sure. So now you are now aware of them.
Okay.
This This
Well,
is
as
a
long as they're
setup
not
I
being
rod.
overtly hostile, it's kind of something and nothing. So
This is a setup I rod the fishing scammer.
So you
we're
head
never
all the
gonna
way.
see that guy again.
You never know. The Esme's hatred may bring him back from the abyss, because that's how
Him
these
and
things work.
yeah, him and Ahogao guy. I've become quite fond of them.
Oh no, they're in cahoots.
No,
Um,
no. As long as it's not Randolph doing the betrayal, I think I can handle it, but not Randolph. He signed
so
my book.
you head all the way back up to where the path started to go down, and it is warmer up here again. Miles is unknown informs you that you're still being tailed, and the other path is open. What do you do? There is the path towards the entrance, and then there is the path that you didn't take before.
Oh, fuck that! I walked all this way. I'm going down the other way to find out what's going on.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
You hit a fork in the road.
Gotcha.
This is actually a double
Just,
fork.
Just
Yep.
so you know, my theater of the mind at this point is completely destroyed. Like as far as like plotting.
I
out
mean,
the
someone has lost an entire set of cutlery.
Yeah.
I will. I'll show the map when it's immediately relevant, and if you want to go somewhere, I'll just trust that you can go there, basically, where you've already gone.
And I'd like to fully explore the cave.
I know that's why you would like to do. That's why I'm not doing it. I know that's what you do, so that's why I'm not doing it right now.
That is so nasty today.
Okay, so on the left there is a fork in the road. Like there's a path that splits into two more paths. On the right there is another path that splits into two more paths.
Oh,
They're all pretty close. So there's effectively four paths from where you are.
well.
Let's find the one that has like the, drag marks or signs that Geodude have been
Yeah, that's legit.
traveling down it, and then do all the others except for that one.
Wow.
Make me a perception check, Miles. Lucas this time.
Sure.
And chance.
Okay,
Okay.
can do.
Yes, I got a 6.
Okay. Let's see.
Now you know how I felt playing Alex last campaign.
Yeah. That is how it goes. So on the left, the first passage to your left, doesn't seem like there's a lot of traffic there. The second passage, so I'll just go them in order. First passage, not a lot of traffic, fairly narrow. Second passage, seems like there's a lot of traffic there. There's a lot of scratch marks along the ground. On the right side, less traffic. You do notice that there are some indents into the wall that are vaguely Geodude shaped, and the walls here seem to be cracked, and it seems to be kind of jagged, like it's more fresh. But out of the last two routes, you see there's some rubble on the ground.
Can we go back to the white space? Sorry.
Sure.
I forget how I draw like lines.
So
Polygon
it's
line? Is it like this?
freehand.
So, oh, freehand.
Yeah, second thing.
Okay. So we have two, and then we have a fork, and then these both fork, right?
Yeah.
We have
basically.
this.
There's like a pillar in the middle that's in the room,
And
then
this
there's
this route here doesn't have that much traffic,
correct.
right? This one has lots of traffic.
Correct.
This one has like dents in the walls,
Yes.
and this one is sorry.
The same. So those two right ones look kind of similar, and there are cracks. There are indents in the walls. The walls themselves seem kind of jagged and cracked.
So the
And
right
they're
hand side is fighting. Okay,
and
which I
then
can't write.
and then there is rubble on the ground to the right side, like on both along both those paths.
Yeah, so the right hand side is a bunch of fighting in it, but like this one here looks like it might be home because it's got the most traffic.
You can guess that, I'd say.
That makes sense.
So which way do we want to go? Do we want to go check out the place for all the fighting spin, or do we want to go the most populous route?
Or if you want to
Or,
know, if
like
you want,
Chan said, do we want to go down the one that no one goes down first, just to see what's there?
Like that plan first. I say left, left, and then left, right.
yeah, I can get behind that.
So this one, then this one.
Thank you.
Okay.
No, I'm not trying to be obtuse, but I'm trying to keep track of this
Sure.
in my head.
Sure. So the left one, you hear some breathing.
Wait a minute. What was the breathing we heard earlier? We never did find it, did we?
Well, it won't have been the ghosts, so it was something that dug.
Right,
Right,
but
so-
Geodudes don't dig. I don't think. I don't think
I think
they
they
have
can
a
dig.
They
can't
can- I'm fairly sure if they wanted to, they could figure out how to dig.
So
okay.
make me a Pokemon check about Geodudes. Pretty low difficulty, I think. They're everywhere.
2d6. Which one is my
Yeah.
Amber would know.
Miles would not, apparently.
Oh wait, no, hold on.
Amber can tell us.
In the interest of keeping that hilarity, I'm going to keep those two and then just add the other two I actually have.
You have 46 Pokemon.
I have 46 Pokemon, Ed.
Okay. So the it's fairly common knowledge that Geodudes will kind of half bury them in the ground. And they turn into like just rocks when they close their eyes, basically. But they don't they are able to burrow, but they don't typically go much deeper than that.
Okay.
They're
So
usually
if I
surface
can
level.
hear breathing again, I might like motion to everyone else to be quiet, and like turn down the torch. I assume I can adjust the brightness on the stupid thing. It's
Yeah.
a big torch, and then can I like try and sneak in without it noticing
Make
I'm
me
doing so?
a stealth check.
Yes, I can do that. I actually have dice in that one.
Yeah!
Nah, it's not too bad. Nope.
So you get about halfway, and since the torch is it off or low?
Low.
Okay. I would assume you avoid shining it directly on it, because that seemed to alert it last time. But about halfway through, the breathing stops, and not even 2 seconds later, you hear the digging sound again, very rapidly.
Can I like try and point my torch at it as it goes?
Sure. You catch a glimpse of a mostly like beigeish yellow head, and a flash of like pinkish purple before it disappears entirely into the ground, leaving behind just that like smoothed out dirt.
Yellow. Okay. Well, that didn't work. I guess I'll check the room and see if there's anything in here.
Does not seem like it. This is just another dead end.
Okay, well, I guess I sort of turned to everyone and shrugged that I didn't catch it, and then we'll go the other direction to cave 2.
Okay. So, cave 2. You don't immediately see much, but you notice more of that rubble along the ground. The only weird thing is that the walls here aren't cracked like the right side caverns are.
Sure. So there's not been fighting that way, or this way, or it doesn't seem like it.
Mhm.
Or at least that's the interpretation that Lucas has made.
Right. So this is a like a somewhat larger chamber. But there doesn't seem to be a lot here.
Despite all the traffic.
Yep.
Huh.
Maybe it's somewhere that they come for something and then leave again.
And if I look around, is it a storage place? Are they keeping stuff here, or like?
Nope. There doesn't seem to be anything stored here. It's just like a mostly empty room. Relatively smooth walls. And then rubble.
Floor very disturbed. Like there's a lot of burrowing in this area.
You can see some like, I guess, remnants of where something might have burrowed. It's not like the other thing, whatever it is, where it's very clean. There are some like piles of earth, like lying aside. Maybe some like small mounds and holes. But yeah, other than that, doesn't seem to be a lot of things in here.
Okay. Well, I guess at that point I mean, if there's nothing else in here and it doesn't like continue further, then I will suggest we wander back and go the other way.
Yeah, guess so.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go across from left to right at this point. So number 3.
Sure. So, like I said, these walls are a little bit more cracked, a little more jagged. Indents in the walls that seem like they're roughly in the shape of a geodude, and some rubble.
And there's nothing in the like. Is it a cavern we reach at the other end, or?
So it's a room with kind of a large boulder in the middle. And there is another exit to the room, it seems like, but it turns a little bit, so you can't see exactly what's at the end.
Okay. If I point my dex at the large boulder, does it tell me that it's a Pokemon?
It does not.
Okay.
I wonder, just out of curiosity, like I don't know how the dex actually works, but I wonder like if you can use the dex as like this active tool to ward yourself.
I'm going to say no.
Pokemon.
I'm going to say no.
Like if a golem is deliberately trying to be sneaky and you point a dex at it because you suspect the golem.
This is a mimic detector.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to say no in this case. Not a universal rule necessarily.
That's
I don't wanna
probably
make that a
fair.
thing. Yeah, I don't want to make that a thing, really.
That's fine.
This is like ghost busting tools, like ectoplasm detectors or whatever.
Well, I mean, we may as well explore the entirety of like the one we've gone down. So
Okay.
I will go all the way around the room and see if there's anything in here or any one, I suppose, Pokemon. Then if not, then carry on down the other exit.
Make me an acrobatics check.
Oh crap.
Rip.
Oh no, wait, I'm okay. I'm not awful.
Out of curiosity, does the boulder that's in this room, does it look like it's just incidentally in this room, or does it look like it's been placed or chiseled or?
No, it seems like it's incidentally in this room.
Okay.
On the other hand, so Lucas keeps his balance, but he stumbles a little bit across some of the rubble that's on the ground. And when he looks back at it, it seems like the rubble has opened its eyes.
Oh crap.
Ah, fuck.
Oh,
It does
beans.
have something to a dude, and they don't like that.
And it pulls itself out of the ground, and it has a very stern expression, and then one of its fists lights up on fire.
Oh god.
Alright. So, that is the end of today's session.
Oh, you.
Oh.
Amber, oh you!
Gosh dang.
Oh darn it!
Yeah, so before I leave you guys off, these Geodudes do look different from the ones you know. They look more...
On fire.
No, not really, other than the fist. It's more like the quality of the rock is different. So whereas regular Geodudes are quite solid looking, and some like somewhere on the spectrum of smooth to jagged, depending on how young they are or old they are. These ones are noticeably more. It's a little bit. They're a little bit rounder, less jagged, and it seems like they are. Uh, they kind of look like sponges. They're more porous.
I was gonna say, are they made of pumicite or something?
They're igneous rather than sedimentary.
Yeah. So does Lucas know what pumice is?
I can believe that that's some random knowledge he has, if I'm honest.
Okay, then they look exactly like pumice.
Okay.
Then yes. Pumice?
But not hummus. Don't be thinking
No.
No, not pumice.
Don't eat the G.
Don't try that one.
Can I
Oh, yeah.
have a look at the Geodude? Because you know that's what's gonna happen next session.
It might be a very warm hug.
You know what? It's fine.
But yeah, I'll leave it at that, and then you will have either some defusing or combat next session.
Ooh.
So, yeah, that's where I will leave you for now.
Bastard.
Hopefully, I'm happy to be a bastard every once in a while.
Every once in a
It's got some real
Some beef.
distaste for the dice rolls today.
Yeah.
Hey, the dice isn't-
good.
She's
I'm
got
not
the
the one rolling the
extreme
dice.
food.
Uh-huh.
Do you know something that does surprise me? I expected Esme to have a higher Pokemon IQ check by this point.
My sheet might be out of date, to be honest. I'm not very good at upkeep. I might need Tom to help.
That might be possible, yeah.
Yeah, if it's
Like, I
out
was
of date, we can
I
look
was
at it.
expecting you to have, because you really like your Pokemon IQ check, so I was expecting you to be on more than 3d6.
It says 5d6 here. Maybe it hasn't been re-imported.
It probably hasn't been re-imported.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
not been
okay,
re-imported.
that's
so-
exactly why then.
Ah.
Because I can't do that bit.
Right, yeah.
I don't have access to any of the tokens, which is fine.
I think I can actually do that, but yeah, yeah, okay.
Well, that explains why you're not getting as higher rolls, Amber.
Well, I'm
Look.
also bad.
With 5d6, Amber, you can roll a 5 instead of a 3.
David, I know the general vicinity of where you exist.
I mean, that's nice. Can you get here?
Alright,
Yeah, reasonably.
Amber, can you roll me another Pokédex check?
Sure. One sec.
Tom, have you been keeping their sheet up to date for trainer?
As and when I've looked at it, yes.
There it is. See? 24, much better than 2.
I'm so angry at myself right now.
Look at that. Right, see?
Wait, hang on. Wait, just for funsies.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Fuck.
Just make all of your skills 3d6 so they get away from that.
Yeah.
Oh. Fine. Oh, Tom, do you want to do some Phasmo after this?
Yeah, we can do.
Cool.
Sure. So yeah, I won't keep you any longer. Hopefully you enjoyed the session. It's a little departure from the usual.
It's
And
been
then,
good.
you have the rest of the territorial dispute to resolve next session.
Yeah.
This was fun. Also, I thought just now you said I thought you said Phasmo, and I was thinking the game Fez.
Oh, Fez, yeah.
But with like I didn't know what that would mean, Phasmo, and I was very, very concerned and interested.
No,
Intrigued.
I can't support the dude that made Fez. He's such a fucking.
Oh, is he?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, he told people to go kill themselves.
Oh wow, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
I knew he was weird. I didn't know I didn't know bad stuff about him.
Yeah, he's kind of a heinous asshole. What's his name?
Phil Fish.
Fish, yeah.
Yeah.
He made the assertion that anyone who ever did a video on a video game had to share ad revenue with the developer for any
Why?
reason.
The fuck? Okay.
because the video wouldn't be able to exist without.
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah.
The answer is because he wants money.
if you generate money from putting my content on your channel, you owe me money. Simple as that. Ad revenue should be shared with developers. This should be built into YouTube. Anything else is basically piracy. And then, when someone argued with him, he said, "Compare your life to mine and then kill yourself."
Whoa. Okay.
Let's see. Game Trailers host Marcus, air quotes, annoyed gamer, beer, and fish got into an argument after beer called fish a hipster, a tosspot, a wanker, and a fucking asshole on yesterday's episode of Invisible Walls. A
Okay.
Game Trailers video podcast after Fish refused to answer questions about Microsoft's decision to allow indie devs to self-publish on Xbox One. Fish then lashed out at Beer, claiming that the Game Trailers host had assassinated his character, telling Beer to compare your life to mine and then kill yourself, and asking him to apologize on camera. Then he canceled Pez2, locked his Twitter account, and basically threw a big tantrum.
That is not what you want to present publicly.
No, the dude's a dick.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because this was back in 2013, so he was like one of the OG people getting canceled or
God.
canceling others. So
Yeah.
He cancelled himself.
he did, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, we will continue this next session.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks for everything, Rose.
No worries. Enjoy some Phasmo. Cheers.
Bye.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.